Good morning. Happy Friday. Time is flying at the moment. Anyone else agree with that? Time is flying. Before we know it, we will be in spring, bit of sun, slowly opening back up again. We've got some good news in the news. Good news in the news for once, with the number of vaccines going out and all this, which is for once quite positive. And obviously got the review on the 22nd, so there's a lot to be optimistic about. And in the meantime, let's focus on the things that we can do. And we had a Q&A last night with Dr. Adam Bibby, who we went through well-being and around coping strategies for stress and lockdown, and a few of the things you can control in this kind of try model that we went through. There's a lot of things we can't do in this time. There's a lot of things we can do that have a massive difference on our mental health, our physical well-being, mood, state, which all impacts how we handle situations and stresses. Anyway, I won't go too far into that, and does lead on nicely to what I'm going to talk about now, which is essentially, there's a few things I want to talk about now. Now, the fastest way that people often fail is the way they measure how well they are doing. Quite often, number one, is most people don't actually know how they want to feel. Most people know how they don't want to feel. So if you ask someone, how do you want to feel? They often will reply with how they don't want to feel. I don't want to feel tired. I just don't want to feel tired. I don't want to feel like my clothes are just really tight. I don't want to, and we focus so much on how we don't want to feel that we struggle to even know when we're successful. Okay, and I know that sounds a little bit weird, but if you really think down to it, there's a real issue with that. Now, on top of this, when we start a journey, a weight loss journey, a fitness journey, it might be the number of exercise sessions we get in, it might be the amount of weight we lose, the inches we lose, the clothes we can now wear, whatever it is, getting down to the floor more easily, whatever it is. Now, we achieve this, which is great. So we achieve this, and you, like me, will probably be ecstatic by achieving that and feeling good. But we achieve that, then the problem comes when we only then look forward. Because we now, unless we're careful and we set a new goal, this is why I stress getting clear on the habits that you're now going to do, we can sometimes only compare ourselves to an ideal. And when you compare yourself to an ideal, this ideal state, we don't know what it is, because it's just this elusive, perfect thing that we've just created that we don't really know how to know if we're there or not. And two, we're constantly looking that way, and then we're forgetting how far we've come already. And that's where the confidence evidence actually lives. And unfortunately then, we almost start going backwards, and we forget how far we've come. We forget to grab that confidence and that evidence. And this leads me on to remembering that, morning Louise, morning Paula, give me a hello if you're coming in, remembering that if you just treat every day like day one, you can overcome that with that little voice in your head, because every day is day one. We're doing an accountability challenge at the moment, and it's quite interesting that if you declare the 3 habits you're going to do, good morning Barbara, you declare the 3 habits you're going to do in the morning, and quite simply, we hold you accountable to doing them. Now, you are coming up with the 3 things, no one else. So the cool thing about this is you can change them if you're struggling. And if you're scoring 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, even 3 out of 3, sometimes it's good to actually change them. And we forget this sometimes when we're on some diet or something like that. We think because we're not sticking to it, we are failing, when actually we're in control of what we're doing. So maybe we just need to change the thing to match our situation now, and not think because John over there, because Jane over there is doing this workout, this diet, that we need to do it as well, and we need to stick it the same, because they might have a different lifestyle to you, whether it's the homeschooling, working from home. Your situation is different from theirs. So you write the rules. Day one today could be different from day one tomorrow. But remember that although you might think, oh yeah, but what's the point of doing that? Those seemingly insignificant tasks then add up. And you might think, oh yeah, but all is over here, nothing is here. So I'm an all or nothing person. The problem is all will only happen once in a blue moon. Nothing might be happening more often. So even though you say you're an all or nothing person, I would say you're not, you're actually about there. Because all is happening so infrequently. So we're actually closer to nothing. So although we say we're all or nothing, we're not. Because the average is what counts. Your body doesn't work in extremes. It works on what you do on average. So what if we just change the goalposts of those 3 things, or one thing you're going to do today that you could definitely do, and just worry about day one, because day one is the only thing that exists right now. Worry about day one, and maybe we just aim for there. And be okay with that, because the average is what counts. The average is what will be the sum of all the habits you do. Where you are now is a sum of the habits that we've done over the last 3 months, whether that's with our 3 months, 12 months, 2 years, whatever, whether that's with our exercise, whether that's with our health, relationships, whatever it is. Where we are now is the sum of that, the decisions that we've made in that area. Now, in summary of that, be okay with changing what you're doing daily. But remember, based on the feedback and how you're finding it, remember that it will take time to build new habits in. Remember that if you think you're an all or nothing person, start writing down every time you're all or every time you're nothing. Take the average of that, and then that will tell you whether you need to actually change your habits to make them more realistic to your lifestyle today. Because doing today will get you more results than trying to do something that you could do maybe in more normal times. And actually, if you can nail down a habit now, think where you'll be when it opens up again. Think how much of a better position, rather than saying, I'll just wait until it's normal again. We think we're staying the same, but quite often we're actually going backwards. So that's where we need to just focus on nailing one thing. Imagine if we just got really good at being able to just exercise for 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes at home, or having that water that we said we were going to get in, getting more protein into our diet, whatever it is. Imagine if we just really got to grips with that one thing. Or it could be snacking, it could be listening to our urges. And I'll finish with this one now, as it's just popped into my head. Sometimes we think that, and I describe this a lot with work, emails, especially in our Q&A yesterday, it came up a lot, people struggling to switch off from work and just working longer. You know, we'd normally finish at 5 and then we'd some people get the tube, the train, drive back and forth, and they wouldn't get home till 6:30. And instead of using an hour and a half to do something for them, where they would have some downtime on the train, perhaps maybe even a snooze, to remember to wake up. Instead, we're often just working longer. And the issue with this is that the messages, the emails, we feel a little bit better when we answer them. So that's why I have notifications off on my phone, because I would struggle not to just keep answering. And although that's okay, because I feel better, it gives me a little bit of a boost, that will distract me from the thing I've actually got structured in. Then I'm annoyed because I haven't actually done the thing that I was sat down to actually do. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I feel a little bit better when I answer the message. So I can be lured in to just go, I'll just do this. I'm feeling better. It kind of feels productive. And I feel better. And it's similar when it comes to snacking or putting off exercise. You snack and then we feel a little bit better. We get the urge to snack and we feel a little bit better by doing it. Now, the issue is that we didn't actually want to do it. It's something that we've said that we don't want to do. But because we've got that urge and we've listened to the urge, or we haven't listened to it, depends what way you look at it, we haven't really felt what it actually feels like. Now, I want you to just consider, next time this urge comes, just consider how long it lasts for and what it actually feels like. Sometimes it happens, and before we've even thought about it, we've gone and done it. We've gone and done something that we clearly said in the morning we didn't want to do. Write down how it feels. It's a really powerful thing. How does it feel inside your body? Do you get a feeling inside your chest, in your head, stomach? How long does it last for? Time it. See how long it lasts for? What happens if you dance around while it happens? What happens if you grab a glass of water and then put on your favourite music while it's there? Because every time you react to this urge and you do it, you create a stronger path in your brain that tells you to do it again. It's like building a clear motorway. So every time you're faced with that decision, that urge, it's a clear motorway to just snack or react to that urge and fulfill it to feel a little bit better. And doing the opposite becomes a little bumpy A road with lots of bumps and potholes in. Just very undesirable to go down. And just remember that every time that urge comes. So, that's your task today, amongst others. Remember, day one. Every day is day one. If there's one thing you can do today, that if you did it would make everything else unnecessary or easier, what would that one thing be? Start there, make it realistic for your lifestyle. Build confidence, build that evidence. Could be the urge work. Could be getting a workout in. Could be going to bed by a certain time. Whatever it is. Just commit to that one thing and make sure it matches your realistic situation now. All or nothing doesn't really exist because we're always the average of our habits. So what if we're not actually an all or nothing person? We're actually closer to there. Depends how many alls and how many nothings you have. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Off to our 6:30 session. Any questions, do let me know. It is arms and quiz morning, so I will speak to you soon. If you want more information about our 6-week Kickstart, send me a message and I'll get you the details from there. Stay safe, eat your protein, drink your water. Remember, small habits, compound effect. Speak soon.